Good morning. I'm just waking up. I slept with the windows uncovered last night so that I would wake up early this morning without needing an alarm. So sure enough, I started waking up as the sun started to break, and it's really beautiful here. This is kind of part of the Mojave Desert in California, and it's an area called the Trono Pinnacles. These rocks that are surrounding me, these formations, they're called tufas. Tufa, tufa. And I guess they're just created by water erosion, but it happened like tens of thousands of years ago or something. And they're just still here, looking pretty cool.
Hi, I'm Christine. After starting life over in 2020, I'm using seasonal work to build financial security, experience new places, and most importantly, keep living life as a big adventure. Come along as I live like a local in desired destinations, spend time in nature hiking, backpacking, and living out of my car, and craft the trips of my dreams on a backpacker's budget.
It did get into the 30s. But I stayed warm in my covers, didn't have to do anything extra with that. And it feels really good to have the sun shining in the window right now. So I'm just kind of like warming myself by the sun this morning. But I'm going to get up and get started because we're going to do some fun things today. I'm pretty excited. If you watched my last video where I was out camping with my mom, it was actually not very far from here, and it was just a couple days ago. But I'm going to be leaving this area today and heading out to explore a little bit west of where we currently are. The big thing today is I need to get moving. I need to go out on a hike. I have not been getting enough movement in, and I feel it in my body, but mostly I feel it mentally. I need to be getting my blood moving, my heart pumping, all that stuff for all the benefits that it has mentally. So as I say this, if you feel down, if you feel stressed, and you are able to get up and get moving, get your heart pumping, even just go for a walk for 30 minutes, couple miles, whatever it is within your ability, go do it. Go do that. It will help you feel so much better. I know it helps me feel so much better. Like, do it. It'll make you feel better. And I want us all to feel better. ready for the day, and I've got about an hour, 15 minutes of driving, so let's get going. Well, I've arrived at the trailhead. It's time to get ready for the hike. I'm gonna switch out of this shirt to a hiking shirt, out of my Birkenstocks to hiking shoes, and I sort of feel like Mr. Rogers right now. Won't you be my neighbor? After I'm done getting my booty kicked on this hike, which will inevitably happen, I want to share with you my goal, what I'm working towards right now, why I'm trying to take the winter off to focus on my fitness, but also protect my finances. There is a very specific goal, a very specific reason. Those of you that have been around for a while, you may already know what it is, but there's many new viewers, and I want to talk to you about it. I want to open up and let you know what's going on with that and why this hike I'm on right now has significance to that specific goal. But first, onward.
The area I'm currently hiking in is called the Southern Sierra, and the trail I'm on is a portion of the Pacific Crest Trail, or PCT, which is a 2,650-mile hiking route from the U.S.-Mexico border in California to the U.S.-Canada border in Washington, crossing diverse landscapes like deserts, mountains, and forests. The hike lasts between 4 to 6 months, and hikers must be physically fit, mentally resilient, and prepared for long stretches between resupplies.
At this point, I am less than 2.5 miles in, and I already feel so much better mentally, spiritually. Like, I feel so much more grounded than I have in the past couple of weeks. And I just realized it has been since I was in Washington that I went on a substantial wilderness hike. That is way too long for me. It's just, I get so much clarity, creativity, and just purpose coming to my spirit when I am out hiking like this. I needed this so badly, and I'm glad I'm out here doing it, because not only is it just absolutely beautiful, just the action of moving out here, it's completely changing my mental state, and I am so grateful for that. What you haven't seen is that in between me arriving to California and filming the last couple of videos, I actually spent a few days making a dent on a couch while I worked on catching up on my editing so that I would be able to continue to upload 3 videos a week, even though I was headed out for a 7-day Mexican Riviera cruise. So I went on the cruise. I was trying to keep up with some workout during that time, but really failed. And I've just been much more sedentary than what is good for me. Although I've been having fun, having a fantastic time, all that kind of stuff, that physical change in my body when I'm sedentary really does affect my mental state. And that's where I was getting to with things. So I'm happy to be on a full reset with that today. I feel so good. best as I can tell, this right here is the peak I'm going up. There's some other peaks, but from the map, All Trails map, it looks like it's this one right here. So onward we go. Right now I'm struggling to find the spur trail that goes up to the peak. I guess I passed it already, but I didn't notice anything. Like, I don't know. There's this little area, but this just looks like a little PCT campsite, not a trail. Let's see. Do I see anything leading up there? So maybe like right through here. This way. Okay. Okay, this is promising. Let's see. Okay. This is much more clear. That is much more clear. So I feel okay. I expected there to be a change in the trail conditions as I departed from the PCT, which is very well maintained and graded nicely. Coming onto the spur trail up to the peak, I knew it would be steeper and more rugged. All right. So far this hike has been pretty moderate, not difficult at all, but this part, this is where the spiritual healing ends and the booty kicking begins. I was gonna go up this really steep part for maybe like half a mile. Whew. This angle gives you a good perspective of how vertical this section is, and this ground is like sand. It's super soft. It could easily lend to a slide. I'm not so concerned about going up. I mean, it would take it out of my cardiovascular system, but I'm actually concerned about the safety of going down, because let me show you what I'm looking at down the fall line. This is where it just goes down. Easily a slip here upon my return could be catastrophic. And this is above my risk tolerance. I am not doing this. Not alone. No. So I'm gonna turn around right here, and that is absolutely fine because I got everything out of this hike that I needed and wanted, and I'm going to end it safely without taking on this kind of risk. If you've been with me for a little while I've been on the road, I've been talking about my fitness, how important it is for me to improve my fitness, and that a large part of the reason that I want to be on the road and want to stay on the road living in my Subaru Forester is because I am trying to improve my physical fitness. It is generally for my well-being and health, but also I have a specific goal in mind. And like I said, I'm going to talk about that later on in this video when I have a bit more time and focus, and I'm not trying to fall off the edge of a mountain. Not trying to not fall off the edge of a mountain. Let's get that right. But I want to just say right now, because I didn't bag that peak, that bagging a certain peak, seeing a certain viewpoint, visiting a specific lake, none of those are my goals right now. My goal right now is to build endurance and a healthy cardio base. That was my goal with coming out hiking today. And building that aerobic base is really what I'm doing for that right now is working zone 2 training. So that's going to be conversational levels of work, like what I'm doing right now. So if I can't maintain this level of conversation while I'm moving, then I'm not building my base properly. And I can tell you, climbing up that steep and treacherous section was not working towards my greater goal. So I feel great about my decision to turn around because I have my eye on the bigger goal, on the prize, on knowing what it is I want to do, and that specific peak is not part of it. This is an out and back hike. I'm now safely back on the beautifully groomed Pacific Crest Trail, and I am going to meet you back at the car. Let's go. Hello, I'm back to the car. So, I haven't eaten anything all day. It is, oh, and I just stopped I hiked for 4 hours and 10 minutes and it was 8.5 miles. It's 3:05 p.m. I've been fasting. I did an 8.5 mile hike. I'm going to have a glorious post-hike meal. My brother and sister-in-law, they recommended a place that's not too far from here, somewhere I've never been. So I'm excited to go check it out. Let's go.
That's nice and light. Good thing I'm drinking. I see a lot of tempting things on this menu, but I'm getting a burger. I'm a post-hike burger type gal, and I'm curious to know from you, what is it that you like post-hike or post pickleball or paddling, whatever your activity is, that you go hard? What is your reward meal, your post-activity meal? Some people like pizza, some people like burgers, some people like beer. What is it for you? Leave it in the comments. I'm so curious. Well, the sun has technically already set, and I'm not sure if you could hear me in there at all. It was really loud, but the food was delicious. Got the burger, and I'm like 9 miles away from my campsite, so not too bad. I should get there before it's totally dark, so that's cool. And then I'm gonna talk to you about what I promised to talk to you about. So let's go. Hello, I have found camp. As I pulled in, there was just the tiniest little bit of light left, but it looks like a pretty reasonable spot. Although I did have a little bit of difficulty finding something level enough to be comfortable, but I think I succeeded in that. So, as promised, I wanted to talk to you about my mysterious goal. This is something that has been very much strongly in the works, a desire of mine for the past almost 5 years. by the time I have any chance of starting it, it will be a 5-year anniversary of, well, when I was planning to start hiking the Pacific Crest Trail in 2020. Some of you have been here long enough to potentially remember this part of my story, my journey, but there are many of you here that are new, and I want to welcome you and give you a little synopsis of what has happened and what my ambitions are to get you up to speed. Firstly, though, I would like to say for those of you that were so kind to give my channel engagement, such as subscribing or giving me likes, thumbs up, in the recent video where I talked about my winter plans and preparations, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And I just want you to know that it really does make a difference. That video got significantly more views than many of my other ones recently. And based on what YouTube told me in the YouTube analytics, that is a direct result of my viewers engaging with the video. Um, so YouTube analytics did tell me that because my viewers were engaging with my video, it was being sent out for more people to see the thumbnail to even be able to click on it. So it gets spread out there for people to be able to view. So thank you so much for doing that. As I stated in that video, I am trying to take the winter off working a contract, and when I am working my seasonal contracts, I am just so absorbed in work, and I really struggle to find the time and the balance to take care of myself and to put out YouTube content. In this conversation, I want to focus on the care for myself. As I've shared, I am on a journey to improve my fitness. I want to do that for life longevity, but also because I have this goal and this ambition in mind. And if you haven't figured it out yet, my primary ambition right now, the just monkey on my back, just nagging at me, the thing that I just cannot move on, I cannot move forward, I cannot move past until I get this done, is I want to hike the Pacific Crest Trail. Hiking the Pacific Crest Trail takes a significant commitment. It's estimated to cost about $10,000 to hike it these days. That's about 40% more than it was when I was planning on hiking it in 2020. It's a huge increase, but I've worked really hard and I've saved funds that I have earmarked for that purpose. I also have been working in a way that with my temporary work contracts, I can take the time off to go do this hike. So I have those two components set up successfully. I feel for me, the missing component right now is getting ready for it physically, being fit enough and just having that endurance, that aerobic base, and having my body composition, I have the best chance of success. Doing this hike is a big strain on the body. It's, 15, 20, 30 working up miles per day through all sorts of terrain, desert, mountains, heat, cold, wind, rain, all of that without reliable shelter on most days of the hike. Appeals to me most, though, the challenge of doing it day in and day out. And I have these visualizations of myself coming up to the terminus, completing that journey, and just the overwhelm of feeling that I've accomplished it. I can visualize that so strongly, and I just can't move forward with any other dreams or goals until I get that done. I realize that it seems kind of extra of me to want to take the winter off specifically to train for this hike. And for those of you that were with me way back in the day when my channel was called This Girl Hikes and I was preparing for this journey, I did a lot to prepare physically. I did CrossFit every single day. I was running. I took a mountaineering course. I went on a backpacking trip in Scotland. I practiced solo backpacking. I was just out there bagging peaks, doing a lot, and getting myself ready as much as possible. And that's just part of who I am. I know some people will just like roll up to the trail casually. It's an afterthought. It's something that they just considered doing and it sounded fun and they bought some stuff and they show up and they get it done. And I'm not diminishing their experience or their approach at all. But for me, in the condition that I'm currently in, I don't feel like I am ready to take on the trail and get the experience out of it that I want. So there is an approach that some people take with when it's like just getting in shape on the trail, and that's not really the approach that I want to take. Just with my age and my current body composition and all of those things, I just worry too much that I could potentially get a serious injury early on and it would just take me off trail for most of the season, or that my pacing would be concerning. Maybe I wouldn't be able to meet people or make friends going on there as a solo traveler because I was hiking way slower than everyone else. I don't know. I just feel like I need to be better prepared for it. And so that's what I want to focus on starting in December when I hope to start my big road trip, to focus on making those improvements to myself ahead of hopefully getting on the trail. Now, this video, this topic, me talking about this right now, this is not a class of 2025 announcement. We have already passed the window where the first round of permits were distributed, and I didn't get a permit. So I'm going to try again in January for a northbound permit, and I'm also very much open to the idea of doing the hike southbound, which instead of starting that in March or April, I would actually be starting in July. So that would also give me a bit more time. I'm really open to the idea of how it happens. I just I just want the experience of being there out on the trail for those 5 months and hiking every mile of available trail to me and completing it. That's what my aim is, and that is the motivation and that is the goal I was talking about earlier in this video. It's not going out there and bagging specific peaks right now or getting certain viewpoints or certain lakes. It is making the dedication to myself to put my body in a position where I can take on this expedition, so to speak, and dedicate myself to about 5 months of hiking nearly day in and day out all the way through the states of California, Oregon, and Washington, whatever direction it may take me. If you are still with me after all of this, go ahead and drop any questions you might have about the hike or my intentions or my plans or anything like that in the comments. I am going to try to schedule another live coming up where I will address some of these, and then of course I'll be responding to you in the comments regularly as well. But yeah, I do have another live coming up, so look out for the announcement of when that's going to be. But I look forward to interacting with some of you there, and of course don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Tell me what is your recreational activity and what is your activity meal? Because I love to hike and I love a burger post hike and I want to know what you like. So let me know down in the comments and I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for being here with me. Take care. See you soon. Bye.